Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hector Dominguez. With me tonight, you have my dog Lexi right there. And it is our Christmas special tonight. So we're going to be talking about a lot of crazy things today. Before we begin, my camera's here, my laptop's here, my screen is here. So I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just, with us tonight, we also have another guest, very special guest, someone dear to my heart, our Director of Communications, Angelina. Let's give her a round of applause.
Woo! Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. So what's going to happen is we are waiting for the assessor to join us, while that's happening, we're going to start with our presentation because we know that you guys were here on time. You guys were here on a timely manner. So that's what we're going to do. So before we begin, there is a comment section. Please, guys, if you are like me and your brain works all over the place, write your question in the comment section. You don't have to wait to the very end. Go ahead and write it down now, type it out now, so that when we get to the Q&A portion, we can answer these questions for you. That way you don't have to forget. It's going to be tag team tonight, so Angelina will be asking the questions. I will be answering the questions. Who knows? I might be asking the question. She might be answering the question. I don't know. We're going to have fun tonight. So let me share my screen.
All right. And as a reminder, please share this presentation.
Absolutely.
It is most likely that the same questions you have, other people have. So please share this presentation with your friends and your family. They can watch it later, but this is valuable information for all property owners in Cook County.
Valuable information for your everyday life. Shout out all that, Nickelodeon. So Cook County Assessor's Office, what is it exactly that we do, right? Our office is responsible for basically putting value to property, right? We have close to 2 million different properties, 1.9 million different properties in Cook County. It is the job of the assessor's office to go ahead and put values on those properties. How do we do that? This is not done on an individual basis. This is not done one-on-one. We don't pick up a piece of paper and throw darts at numbers. That's not what we do. We find a value by using what's called a mass appraisal system. The mass appraisal system is a way for this to stay fair, for it to stay uniform, and make the entire process easier. We only have about 230-something employees. There's absolutely no way, do the math, there's no way we could assess almost 2 million different properties with 230-something employees in time, right? Another thing our office does is we have a system or discounts called exemptions for property owners who qualify. So basically discounts on your taxes and the appeal process. We're going to go over those things now. So very quickly, you might have heard this term floating around. You may have received letters from attorneys. You may have seen it on Facebook or whatever. But triennial, what does that mean? It just means 3 years, right? So each year, a different parts of the county is being reassessed. That way, we can reassess the entire county in a timely manner, right? This year, 2021, the city is being reassessed. We're doing that right now. Last year, the South was reassessed, and then next year, the northern part of the county is going to be reassessed. This happens every 3 years. Now, when you are being reassessed, that's you guys, Lakeview, you have 30 days to appeal. Your deadline is not December 6th. Oh my gosh, so sorry. December 23rd. Your deadline to appeal is December 23rd. That was a typo we had. I'm sorry, guys. But we're going to talk about that. So on the left-hand side, you see what we have here as a residential assessment, a reassessment notice. This is not a tax bill. 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 This just lets you know what our office believes your property is worth. If you agree or we're close, within like 10, 15%, then you have nothing to do tonight. Go home. Or you probably are home. But go watch TV. Go do something else. I don't know. Go eat dinner. If you don't agree with the value we have here, then you definitely want to stay for the rest of the presentation so we can show you how to appeal this value. On the right-hand side, this yellow portion is a tax bill. This is a tax bill. This is mailed to you by the treasurer's office. You get 2 of these a year. You get a blue one when it's cold outside, and you get a yellow one when it's warm outside. Your specific township is available to appeal, and your deadline is December 23rd. Awesome.
One thing, Hector, can I add something?
Absolutely.
So we get this all the time, questions about the reassessment notice. So I just want to hone in this point that property owners in Lakeview, so you should, if you're a property owner and you live in the township of Lakeview, you would have received a reassessment notice right now because the city of Chicago is being reassessed. And what you really want to look at is in red, it's circled, it's your estimated fair market value. So that basically means that that's the value we're placing on your home. So the assessor's office is saying that's the amount that you could sell your home for right now in the current market. So if you disagree with that value, that's the value you're paying attention to. If you think I can't sell my house for this value, then that's why maybe you would consider, one reason why you might consider filing an appeal. So you really want to take a look at that number and pay attention to everything on your reassessment notice. And again, you only get this once every 3 years. That's when you are reassessed. Go ahead.
Go ahead, girl. I see you. Go ahead. All right. So next, where did my presentation go? There it is. So reasons why you are appealing. Listen, there are multiple reasons why someone might want to appeal. I'm going to go over the 3 most common, right? The first one, lack of uniformity. That means myself and Angelina all live on the same block, house built by the same person, same size, same color, same developer, same materials, same everything. But for whatever reason, my value is greater than Angelina's, which probably means my tax bill is greater than Angelina's, and I want to know why it's not uniform. Most taxpayers choose this option. Give me 1 second, guys. My presentation is acting up. All right, here we go. The next one is overvaluation. I'm going to assume that's almost everybody here, right? There's no way my house is worth this much. If my house was worth this much, I would sell it to you right now. Matter of fact, here are the keys. If that is you, then you want to check overvaluation. Most people, when they appeal, this is why they appeal. They feel there's no way my property is worth this much. And then the next most common reason is incorrect property description error or property description error. This just means there's a factual error, not an opinionated error, a factual error. So what the heck is a factual error? That means our office says your square footage is 1,200 square feet, but you really have 1,000 square feet. Or our office says you have a building with 6 apartments or less, but you really only have a single family home. Or we say you have a condo, but you really have a bungalow, something like that. There's a factual error. When filing an appeal, guys, I know you probably receive letters from attorneys saying that they can help you, they can save you, they can do all these things for a fee. Listen, when you appeal with our office, it's completely free. You don't have to pay $1, right? What you do need is a valid email address, and it's best for you to start appealing as soon as your township is open. So again, Lakeview, you guys, your deadline is the 23rd. So what is that? Is that next week? That's next week, Thursday. Next week, Thursday is your deadline. So between here and then, you have the opportunity to appeal. You can draft your appeal. You can save it. You can modify. You can edit. You can upload things. You can do attachments, pictures, sales analysis, appraisals if you have them, anything like that. You can do all of those things for free. And I'm going to walk you through that right now. So when you go to our website, cookcountyassessor.com, on the very top, you're going to see the appeals tab. Just click the appeals tab. Click start an appeal, and then this screen is going to pop up. If you have a home, if you have a residential property, you want to check on the very last option. That is a residential appeal. Now, if you have a condo, you want to check the second option, the one that says condo co-op. Just want to make that distinction because the applications are a little bit different. They're similar, but they're just a little bit different. You can also, we have a new tool. So shout out to everyone working super hard in the background. We have a new tool, interactive mapping. This will help you guys find comparables. Now listen, you don't need to find comparables. Our office is going to do that for you. However, I understand for peace of mind, you may want to do that on your own, and you absolutely have the right to do that. And this is how you can do that. So I'm going to leave this on the screen. Go ahead and screen shoot it. Go ahead and take a picture. If you're watching this in later, press pause, and then you can read this. But the link is also in the comment section as well. So now, when filing an appeal, we've made this as easy as humanly possible. Literally, all you have to do is click the tab and answer the question. The questions are, what is your name? What is your address? What is your PIN number? What is your, it's right in front of you. It's very easy. What I do want to draw attention to are these two circled areas. So the first one is additional PINs. This is for anyone who has a prorated property. Hector, what the heck is a prorated property? Very simple. This means you have more than one PIN number for one property. How do you know? Instead of receiving 2 tax bills a year, you receive 4 tax bills a year, or 6 tax bills a year, or 8 tax bills a year, right? You receive more than just the 2. If you're not sure if you have a prorated property, that probably means you do not. If you have a prorated property, you know you do. It's very simple. Next, attachments. This is where you would submit an appraisal if you have one, pictures if you have one, additional documentation if you have them, an appeal narrative if you have it, comparable properties if you have it. This is where you want to do that. You don't want to confuse the two. You can start your appeal, you can save it, you can return to your application. We're trying to make this as user-friendly as possible, guys. But listen, once you submit and you click the giant submit button, and then the next screen says, are you sure you want to submit? And you click OK, you are done. You cannot fix it. So please take your time. Please don't be the person who tries to file their appeal at 11:59 p.m. December 23rd, sorry. Please don't be that person. You have more than enough time to do it now. You have more than enough time to do it over the weekend, even by next week. Please, guys, take full advantage of this. Something else we want to communicate with you all, articulate better, I guess, is the exemptions that we offer. We offer the homeowner exemption, the senior freeze, persons with disabilities, returning veterans, veteran with disabilities, long-time homeowner, and the home improvement. Now, the homeowner is super simple. As long as you owned it, as long as the property was owner-occupied January 1 of 2020, then you got the exemption. Very simple. Senior, you have to be born in 1955 or before. Senior freeze, you have to be born in 1955 or before, cannot make more than $65,000 as a total household income, and you must have owned and occupied the property January 1 of 2019 and January 1 of 2020. If I'm going too fast, we will put this in the comment section as well. There's a link to the exemptions. Once I'm done, I'll throw that in there for you guys. Persons with disability, listen, our office has zero authority to say who's disabled or not. So what we do is we give an application to you. You take that to your doctor fills it out on your behalf. You bring it back. As long as you qualify, then you're all good. Returning veterans, this is for anyone who is returning from active duty for the year they return and for 1 year later. So it's like a 2-year exemption. Veterans with disability exemption, this is my favorite exemption. This is for any veteran that has a service-connected disability of 30% or greater. So 30 to 49%, you get X removed off of your tax bill. 50 to 69%, you get X removed off your tax bill. If it's 70 to 100%, you get X. You don't pay property taxes at all. Sorry, I was going into autopilot. If it's 70 to 100, you don't pay property taxes at all, as long as your home is not worth more than $800,000. Anything more than that, you are responsible for. The long time exemption, this is the one we get the most questions about. First, you must have owned and occupied this property for 10 consecutive years. So that means January 1, 2010 to the current. You do not make more than $100,000 as a total household income gross, and your equalized assessed value must have increased significantly. But first, we're gonna, Angelina, you wanna jump in? You're muted.
Oh, I'm on mute. Our special guest has arrived, so I am adding him in. Sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
beautiful. No. So I will go all the way to the beginning and I will jump in. Boss, you are muted.
Okay, Hector, thank you, everyone. Really
No
appreciate
problem at
you.
all.
Can you hear
No
me now?
problem at all. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, great. Hey, everybody, really appreciate you taking the time to join us. We got our technical difficulties resolved. We're really glad that you're spending the time to be with us here tonight. We know it's a very busy holiday season, so we'll get right to it. Hector, have you given them the information about exemptions, and should I give them a little bit of a higher level perspective, or tell me what you've showed them so far?
So we are up to the exemptions right now, but I paused it and I went all the way back to the data portion if that's what you want to do. But I will jump in wherever I can take you wherever you want to.
Well, hey, everybody, just a reminder, why do we do assessments? We do assessments so that we can take a picture at a moment in time of what each person's property is worth, whether the most humble home or the biggest skyscraper downtown. What the assessor does is really our assessments divide up the burden. It's about $16 billion in property taxes that have to be collected every year. And it's the assessments that divide that up amongst us. And your share of the total assessed value in the city is your share of that amount of levy that has to be collected in the city. So our work is really about equity and making sure that you're only paying your fair share. And the way we do that is make sure that your assessment matches, what it's worth in the market, and it shouldn't be assessed higher than that. And so here is a snapshot of the housing values that we see in Lakeview Township. You can see here on the map. We show this to you because it's an average. Here you can see in the next chart how the average housing price and the top third and bottom third housing prices have changed over time. So if we go to the next chart, you can see how it's changed. Prices have been pretty stable in Lakeview Township. This is based on actual transactions that we've seen the last couple of years. And you can see that on average, they've been kind of flat. You can see at the top end, we see things actually being down a smidge, and at the bottom end, also pretty stable. This tendency is a little bit different from what we've seen in the rest of the city. We've seen increases stronger in other parts of the city. Part of the reason might be that housing prices are already very high in Lakeview Township, and more of the increased prices are on properties that have lower values. But this is where you can see that we're seeing market values in the $700,000 to $1 million for the middle third of single family homes, and then $150,000 to $300,000 for the in the middle third for condos. Here you can see the range of assessments that we've done, and really what we've tried to do is to make sure that there is no tendency to overestimate or underestimate as housing value rises. In the past, there was a pronounced tendency for lower valued homes to be valued, tended to be valued more highly, and then the highest end homes we tended to systematically underassess. Based on tests that we're doing, this chart over on the right shows that it's getting closer to the flat line where it ought to be. We still have a little bit of work on lower end homes to make sure that we're not systematically overestimating their value. You can help this out by making sure that we've got the number right. Oftentimes this is because we can't see what's going on inside a house. Sometimes they haven't been renovated for a long time. That would depress their value in the market, but these are things that we don't necessarily see. So that's why we have the appeals process, and Hector's going to tell you more about that. We'll go to the next slide. Here, this shows you something important. This context is important because your assessment's only meaningful in the context of how everyone else is assessed in the city. It's not good enough for your assessment to be accurate. You want other people's assessments to be accurate too, and you want to know how your share of the burden is likely changing. What you should know is that in pretty much every area of Chicago that we're reassessing, homeowners are showing up having a lower share of the total assessed value versus the last year we did a reassessment. So here you can see assessed value in Lakeview Township, homeowners had 76% of the burden last time. In our reassessment, it's down about to 71%. That's because there've really been a lot of big commercial properties that were underassessed. Their values have grown, so homeowners' share of the burden is declining. This is a tendency we've seen across the city and the suburbs in past years, and it's helped to moderate homeowners' property taxes. Here you can get an introduction and dig in much more deeply into seeing what's going on with your type of home in your neighborhood by going to our website. And here you can see, you go to cookcountyassessor.com and then to data and evaluation reports. And you can see that we've got a lot of condo units here in Lakeview Township. You can see the average price range. That's the row down at the bottom. And then you can see single family homes up the top. You can see how many transactions happened in 2020. And on the website, you'll be able to dig into your specific neighborhood and see the same information.
Cool beans, boss.
All right. Well, we're going to hand it off to you, Hector. Everyone out there, we try to give you a broader perspective when I speak to help you be a good citizen, make sure we're doing a good job. But now Hector's going to give you information you can use to save you money and navigate the system and advocate for yourself. So Hector, take it away.
Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause, guys. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to, I don't know where, oh, here we go. So, long-time exemption. This is for anyone who owned and occupied the property for 10 consecutive years, does not make more than $100,000 as a total household income, and your equalized assessed value must have increased. What does that mean? Long story short, there is an equation that has to be done that our office does for you. If you qualified, you would have received an application back in April. Now, I would love to sit up here and say that our office is perfect, especially, but that's not the case. So if you feel you qualify, just go ahead. We will show you at the end how to contact us directly, and we will work that out for you. And then the last exemption is the only one you don't have to apply for. Once you pull the permits, assuming you're doing this correctly, once you pull the permits, your city, your township, your municipality then forwards that to our office. Our office then goes and sees if this actually adds value to your home or not. Does it actually improve your home or not? Any improvement up to $75,000 is not accounted for 4 years. Basically, it's frozen. It's not added on to your assessment for 4 years. Anything greater than that, you are responsible for. So now, how do you check this? How do you check if you've been receiving your exemptions or not? There are multiple ways to do this, but the best one, in my opinion, is cookcountypropertyinfo.com. Here, you can see everything. Exemptions, refunds from the treasurer's office, if your bill was paid on time to the treasurer's office, any appeals, any delinquent fees, any changes in your deed, property characteristics, all of that stuff can be found right here. But what happens if you were supposed to file an exemption, or you did file an exemption, but it never got to us, or you're missing an exemption, or for whatever reason, you didn't get what you were supposed to get? As of this moment right now, December 15th, we can go back as far as 2017 and recoup anything that you may not have received. So that means 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2024 years. Guys, when we're not doing presentations, this is literally what we're doing all day. This is my favorite thing to do at the office. I love helping taxpayers get money that belongs to them. It just brings so much joy. So this is what we do. This can be done online. The link will be in the chat soon as well, but it's super easy to do. You can file everything online. You don't have to leave the comfort of your house. You can do this on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, from the sofa, from the car, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can do it anywhere online. Now, we've already talked about what a tax bill is. Earlier, the assessor was talking about the tax levies or the taxing bodies. That's this portion right here. This giant yellow box is all of that information, and it's literally counted down to the penny. So you can see where your money is going. But what I want to draw attention to is the tax calculator, bottom left-hand corner. In here, you will see your exemptions listed. The homeowner exemption, senior freeze, disabled veteran, disabled person, returning veteran, all of that will be listed here, except for the long time. For whatever reason, the treasurer's office puts the long time under important messages. So this is where you would look to see if you received your exemptions or not. Please follow us, guys. We are socially active. You can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, everywhere, guys. We are everywhere. And if you want to contact us directly, just go ahead to cookcountyassessor.com. There, we answer all our messages. You can email us there. You can also DM us on social media. Angelina, who was on here with us earlier, is our director of communications. She is who you speak with when you talk to someone on Facebook, so please be kind. And yeah, guys, that's the end of this portion. So let me close this out, stop sharing, and now to my favorite part, the Q&A.
Okay, so let's go to the Q&A. We don't have too many, but since I am behind the scenes on Facebook, I can actually throw out some commonly asked questions.
But let's shout out Stella Black. Yes. Our number one fan.
Our frequent flyer.
Yes.
Yes. She is so
Happy
sweet.
holidays, Stella.
Yes. And Stella's, I believe she is in Lake Township. So she just received her reassessment notice. I don't know if she's still here, but.
Yeah, and they were due the 6th, I think. Their deadline was December 6th, I believe.
Yeah, that is true. So here we go. Which exemptions auto-renew next year?
You want me to do this one, Boss?
Yeah, you want to do it, Hector, and then we can build on it to give people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So off the top, the homeowner exemption, as long as it's applied for correctly and before the deadline, will automatically renew going forward until there is a deed change or some type of change in the property. This won't remove it, but it'll let us know there's something happening here. The senior citizen exemption and senior freeze exemption will be automatically renewed next year as well. And I believe the disabled veteran one too, correct?
That's correct.
Beautiful.
And the reason why is a couple of these exemptions were auto-renewed just for these COVID conditions. So people with disabilities, veterans with disabilities, and the senior freeze. Make sure you still have eligibility for these exemptions, but they do automatically renew. We're really proud that the senior homeowners exemption automatically renews as well. Look in the mail just to make sure that you weren't part of part of a very small group. In the spring when we send exemption forms, and that we do have to audit under the auto renew legislation. A small number of homeowners, you'll be notified of that in the mail if you do, but you can always just check to make sure that your exemptions are auto renewing. We'll do that when you get a postcard in the mail in the winter and spring, and you can also check it on the website.
Awesome. Shout out to Kiki. We were actually going to wear ugly Christmas sweaters, but mine wasn't.
Storage.
Yeah,
I did not get that memo. I should have brought my own horns. I'm feeling bad, guys.
Yeah, these horns are actually from my Pikachu. I just took them off of him and I put them on me. But yeah, let's do another question.
Okay. Here is another question. I am a new homeowner. When can I apply for a homeowner exemption?
Awesome. So the applications are typically, the date changes, time frame doesn't per se, are typically available from January to February of the upcoming year. Now, if you want to apply, you must have owned and occupied the property as of January 1 of the tax year. So to make it simple, in about 4 weeks, the new 2021 applications are going to be available. And to qualify, you must have owned and occupied the property at least January 1 of 2021. If you do not, then you have to wait until the next year and then you can apply.
So if you become a new homeowner and you closed on your transaction this year, you'll be able to apply for the homeowner's exemption next year.
All right. Next question. How can I check which exemptions are already applied?
Easy peasy. You go to our, well, there's multiple ways. The easiest way is just check your tax bill. If you don't have your tax bill, you can DM us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can send us an email and we can check for you. You can check countypropertyinfo.com or you can call us and we do answer the phone. That's one
And we'll
thing.
put that link in the chat box. Could you repeat the link again, Hector, just for folks who didn't write it down fast enough?
Yep, cookcountypropertyinfo.com. It was in there earlier.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
There it is, right there on the screen. Go ahead and screenshot it. Next question.
I just want to add one thing. The portal is actually a really good sort of one-stop shop as well. You can download your past tax bills. You can see your exemptions. You can see your property information. So I do recommend people visit the cookcountypropertyinfo.com.
And not that anyone would use it for this, but you can also check your neighbor's stuff, make sure everybody's paying what they're supposed to be paying. Not that people do that, but.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next question. Is it free to file and appeal an exemption application? We get this all the time.
Yes, it is free with our office. It is not free if you hire an attorney to do it. But if you come through our office or through an elected official that comes to our office, it's definitely free. And we help you guys fill it out.
And really, everyone, you should just be doing it directly through our office. It's your money. And you're the expert on your own home. It's very easy. It's never been easier to do an appeal and to do these exemptions. You used to have to do it all on paper. Now you can do it all online in just a couple minutes.
Before this administration, I used to literally carry 600, 700 appeal forms back from outreaches multiple nights a week. This is so much easier.
Okay. I don't have any more questions. But I will throw out a commonly asked one. So we always get this common question. A married couple owns a house. One of the spouses is over 65, is a senior, and the other is under. Do they qualify for the senior exemption?
Excellent. So to qualify for the exemption, the answer is yes, but here's why. To qualify for the exemption, it must be owner occupied, must be born in 1955 or before, and as long as one of the owners owns and occupies it and was born in 1955 or before, they qualify. That will actually be me. My wife is a little bit older than I am, so she'll be a senior way before I will. So I'm definitely going to be getting that exemption.
Well, Hector, and when one of the folks who lives in the home goes to that qualifying age, what do people need to do? Because they won't automatically have the exemption. What do they need to do?
Exactly. So here's what needs to happen. Come on. Here's what needs to. I'm sorry, guys. Come on. Come on. Oh, my dog's literally been licking my leg the whole time. I'm sorry. Here's what needs to happen. Yeah. Here's what needs to happen. So once you qualify, the application will be available between January and February. Just contact our office. You fill it out. All we need from you is a valid driver's license or state ID. You fill out the application, you turn it in, and you are in. And it's a nice little deduction too, depending on where you live. At least $600, at least $700, $700. It could be greater than that too. So. Yeah,
especially if you live in a place where rates are high, it has a big impact. So we really try to make sure that everyone who's turning 65 is getting this exemption. So everyone out there, just make sure that you do. If you have a loved one in your life who's crossing that threshold, make them do it too. And then they'll be getting that annual savings, which is substantial.
And one more thing. I don't know how this information is being communicated, but there's a misconception that people should not be filing for the senior or the senior free because when they pass or they move or whatever, then they have to pay all that back, and that is not true. Exemptions are for you to benefit from. It doesn't matter what's happening. You qualify, you get it, you receive it. That is not something you have to pay back.
Yep. It's savings off the top.
Savings off the top.
All right. I think that concludes our question portion. Any final thoughts, comments, reminders that you would like to share?
Well, hey, we just want everyone to know that we're all here as a resource for you to help you navigate this process and get all the savings and rights that you're entitled to. So, if there's something you forgot to ask, you can call us at our call center. We'll give you the number right here in the screen below. Go to our website. You can send an email. You can ask questions on social media, and you can make an appointment at our office. It's never been easier to do all these things. We're trying to make you be able to get the best services that you can, and we're here for you. So give us a try. We think we've stepped up the service quality for you, and we'd love to know what you think.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, everybody, please be safe out there. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones. If you've been surviving through this pandemic, you know that times have been tough. So just enjoy the people around you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. You literally could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. So we appreciate it. Thank you for keeping us with a job. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Be wise. Say bye, Lexi.
Take care, everyone, and please do be safe. Happy holidays.
Good night.